So today we're here and we are talking about two things. First, we're just going to mention PrintUV 25 as it's coming up in March. I have with me a long-standing friend and UV member. I think we go back to the beginning. We got Chris Travis of KBA. No, everyone's going to get mad at me. It's Koenig, Bauer, but to me, it's always going to be KBA. How you doing, Chris?
Fantastic, mate. Great to see you. Lovely to catch up with you.
Always, always. So for those of you that are listening, if you've been to PrintUV, I don't have to say anything to you. You know you need to be there. Why? It's the greatest show on earth. Single track, everybody stays, everybody shares. Let's talk about the sharing. Everybody shares.
Yeah, I mean that to me was one of the biggest takeaways for PrintUV is the networking and the fact that people are comfortable with talking about how they do things, how they want to do things, their successes within printing and UV. It just allows for a very relaxed environment and a very sharing environment, which to me is one of the biggest things that I would take away from PrintUV.
Well, so two things. If you're an owner of a company, you should be there. If you're not coming and you're worried about what I just said about sharing, people don't share proprietary information. That they keep secret. We have credit card companies there. We have everybody. Right?
Yeah.
It's all good like that.
When I say share, they'll share maybe a blanket trick or an ink trick, but then of course you then have to go do it. It's not, not giving secrets away.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll just tell you quickly. I went to PrintUV in the beginning after I bought that UV press from KBA. And back then it was KBA and it was a 142 6-color UV, the whole thing. And I went to the conference and I will tell you, when I met Kurt there and hired him to come back to Pizzazz at the time for a month or 5 weeks, that money I spent on him put us as a company 1 year ahead because we didn't know anything about UV before. Had I not been to PrintUV, I would have probably struggled for years with the UV. So that was just one bonus. Then for me, it was just all the friends that I meet that over the course of the year, I could pick up the phone and get some help because our industry is all about helping.
Yeah, and I think that's what most people will say to you as well, is that the networking, obviously for the 3 or 4 days of the year, but not only that, it's for the continued time that you have those that network and that reach out to support at any time. And I'm 100% confident in saying that whoever goes to PrintUV will come back with something that will benefit them every day in their manufacturing facility.
I would even go so far to say that if you came and you didn't go home with one thing that benefited your shop, you should probably get out of the business.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't going to guarantee the trip.
Well, yeah. No, but of course, as we know with these conferences, it's you have to turn up with the right mindset and want to learn something, which of course most people do because it's a big commitment in time to go to a conference. But people are willing to help and support there, and that's what I really like about it. And obviously we're technical people as well. But I see technical people there. I see owners there. I see people who just want to understand a little bit more about UV. And should they go to UV? Should they stay with conventional? What's the benefits of it? It touches on everything, and I believe this PrintUV 2025. If you have a look at the agenda, it's up there and published now. It's a really good agenda, and I think everyone's worked hard on that agenda because we haven't had it for 2 years now because of Trooper, and of course, well, there was another reason why we didn't have it last year.
That is correct. So before we go into that reason, the big thing at PrintUV this year is we're bringing in digital, right? And it's digital print, digital finishing, which is so important because if you are a big UV company, the big brands want to have the ability to do some of the personalization and the quick turn and the high value embellishment. They're not bringing in smaller companies, the brands, because they don't know it. But it's your opportunity to come and learn and then build another division to go along with the big. And then you could pick up everything from your customer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of digital UV embellishments on the market and talked about. And I think there's some things on the agenda. It's not only how to do them, but it's also how to show them. Because the embellishments are great, but you have to be able to proof them and show them. So I think there's some cool things that are on the agenda that we can learn from there.
Absolutely. And so the other thing this year, on why this year is so important and so big, and why we want to bring everyone back plus others, is it's the year that we honor Hans Ulland.
Yep, our
Right?
mate.
He was the co-founder of PrintUV, co-founder of AMS Systems, and unfortunately, he had a battle that he did not win. And we're all going to get together, and we want to honor him.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
very.
wow. I mean, when I think about Hans, I'm laughing because like he was the guy who's like, just get it done.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Make it happen.
Right? He got stuff done.
He didn't want to hear anything.
Yeah, he got stuff done.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
So it was very unfortunate that we lost Hans last year. Very, very, very early, very young age, and but his memory goes on, and I think this PrintUV will not only have a fantastic agenda, a fantastic conference, because as you said, it's one of the greatest shows on earth. But I think this one's a little bit more special because we will have be able to remember Hans for what he created and honor him and make sure that it's a success.
It'll be nice to toast him with 200 other people.
Yeah,
right.
It would, yeah. Yeah,
because there's a lot of toasting over the years. I mean, I think this year is it year 15? 14?
16.
16. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess as we get a little older, we lose track.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's what's important to note that I would say to people that are listening here now. That PrintUV has always been every year. Of course, COVID took a piece out of that. And unfortunately, with Hans's health last year and Drupa, we decided not to have it last year. But so now moving forward, PrintUV will be every 2 years. So, which I think
bummer.
Well, I think from a content standpoint and for
yes.
it's good because technology is shared very easily these days, as we know, and so I think every 2 years it will continue to be a very valuable show. And so when people think, "Oh, I'll just go next year," well, it won't be next year. It's 2025, and the next one's 2027.
You don't want to go. You don't want to wait for 2 years because you're losing out on all that information.
Yeah, well, and of course it wasn't one last year, so it would be 4 years since the last one if you give it a miss. So
kind of like Drupa, but we don't want to be like Drupa.
Yeah, well,
every 4 years,
it'll never fall on Drupa. That's good.
No, that's good. Cool. And if people want to register now, there's a little bit of an early bird special. You can get a little bit of a discount. It is at the Wynn, so we all know the Wynn.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm just thinking like, wow, looking forward to seeing everyone. And like I said, the toast for Hans. And I know Steve is super excited for this PrintUV, and he's been working really hard to make things happen.
Yep. Steve's obviously co-founder and business partner of Hans for many years. And so he's carrying on the legacy of PrintUV. And I'm
sure Katie will be there to give everybody a little kick in the butt to keep moving and doing.
That PrintUV wouldn't be PrintUV without Katie keeping us all in check.
Agreed.
So, but she'll have a little bit easier this time, I think, because normally she's also keeping Hans in check, so she won't have to keep Hans. So she'll be more focused on us. But I'm excited to meet everyone, to see everyone again, but also to toast and to remember Hans, because he created this show. He was an absolute wealth of knowledge and a great person in this industry. And he's a big miss. He's big miss as a colleague and a big miss as a friend. So I'm looking forward to getting everyone back together and toasting them and thinking of him.
Yeah, well said. I'm not going to add anything to that other than just to say to everybody, would love to see you at PrintUV. Come on down. If you want to know a little bit about it, feel free to reach out to me or Chris, but I'm probably better. It's hard to reach Chris. But really, come on down. I'm going to go a day earlier. If you get there a day earlier, you could hang out with me and we could have some pre-fun. Great.
People might just sign up for that.
Yeah, I would. I mean, we've had many a good nights over in PrintUV.
That we have.
Nothing we're going to talk about because it's Vegas, but no, all good, all good, all honest, all fair.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So everybody, just please go to www.printuv.com, register, and send me an email. Tell me you're going to be there. We'll make some plans to hang out.
Great
Chris,
to catch up, mate. Appreciate the call, and I look forward to seeing everyone at PrintUV. All the best.
Likewise. Awesome. Thank you.